Hello chaps and chapettes. I'm following up from my previous video, the one a couple of weeks ago, where I was suggesting don't get yourself in debt. Use a software version of Eurorack. And for me, that's VCV Rack. So what I have here is Mellifluous Unum. It joins my other albums, which are down the side here. But I'm going to tell you a secret. This one, Mellifluous Unum, has been produced with software. So I've used a different process. Please come over to Bandcamp, click play, and if you like it, you can buy it for nothing. Click buy digital, name your price, and please do so, put in 0, and then you can just download it and follow the instructions down here. So the thing about producing this 30-minute track for me is that I've used a very mediocre PC. I got into Eurorack because I didn't want to buy very expensive PCs. I don't like the blue screen of death. I have enough of that when I'm doing the day job. When I'm out of lockdown, that is. So the question is how did I produce this piece of music? As I said, please come over to Bandcamp, please check it out. It's Mellifluous Unum. I'm going to just pause that here and I'm going to get over to how I produced it within Reaper. Right, that's the VCV Rack patch that I used, but we're going to come back to that. We're going to go into Reaper. So here in Reaper, that piece of music, Mellifluous Unum. At the top I have a WAV file which I produced with VCV Rack. No, I didn't bridge it across. My laptop is so mediocre it's not able to handle that processing. Now I recorded 30 minutes of audio, VCV, a complicated patch, agreed. And I'm following the idea, the old Berlin School idea, of using your robots, be it Eurorack or Moog Modular or Surge, anything, to have your sequencing running and then you play along to it. So that's what I've done here. I've got 3 tracks, VCV Rack, above 30 minutes, and then I've played along with a flute. So let's jump over to a fluty part where it sort of ramps up in. So here we go. I've played within Reaper a Mellotron flute to the VCV Rack audio, and the first thing I produced was 30 minutes of VCV Rack playing that patch. We're going to jump into that and just have a quick look. And here I've played live a Mellotron flute, and I haven't even edited it. That's how it should be, because if I edit this I'm going to lose that emotion, that timing that I felt at the time. So at the bottom you'll see I have a violin that I've added in. I just added that in and I will jump over to it. Let's pause this a minute. So in producing the VCV Rack audio file, I manipulated it with the controller, and that will be a subject of another video, to give myself space, and here's space on the big clock in the right hand corner, 18 minutes. At that point I wanted to make it about the 20-minute point. I thought I'd have a space where I could add in more improvisation on whatever instrument I was going to decide to play, and in this instance it's the Mellotron flute. And then I've added in, to thicken the sound at this point, some violins, which you'll barely notice. If you download the track, have a good really detailed listen, and you'll hear the violins just thickening up the sound a bit. And let's jump to the end. At the end, what I wanted to do was bring down various levels of the sequence and have more percussion just to into the track, a nice slow pace, have the mellotron flute and that percussion at the back. Let's jump here. That, just that nice ambient, should we call it clatter? Just a nice ambient percussive element. Mellotron flute, just to bring us towards the end of an ambient, 30-minute ambient piece. And you can see on the volumes, I've got a volume down here for the flute where I begin at the end, ramping down those levels. And let's just pause that. We're going to jump into VCV. There's VCV. I'm not going to play this because it's going to glitch horrendously. That's what happens. Mediocre laptop for you. But when you use the master recorder, and I'm using the MIDI map with my controller, and that's going to be a subject of another video because it won't be the controller you're expecting. I'm controlling the mixer levels. I'm controlling the wavetable on the Erica Synths Black Wavetable VCO. I'm actually controlling the number of steps in the sequence. That's pretty much all my control with an external controller. I've got two samples playing. One I think plays backwards and one forwards, and probably at different speeds. But when I record with the master recorder here, although it might glitch when I'm playing it, when I listen to the final recording, it's pretty much clean. Right, let's come out of here. I have got some pops and crackles in this VCV recording up here. I think there were 3 pops, and I decided, right, the best way to remove them, what you do is you do Control P to get into your preferences, media default items, you'll find it here. When you create, so what I've done is you create on a PC, Shift S, a break in the track. I had a pop here at about 8 minutes. I've set this to a 50 millisecond fade in and fade out. And what you can do is using Shift S, and you can move that point around. That break in the track, which is a split in the track, you can move it around and get it right on the pop or crackle. And that's how you remove pops and crackles. There's a video on it on Reaper. You'll find it on YouTube. That's how I did it. Right, and that's pretty much it. That's Mellifluous Unum. It's available on Bandcamp. If you don't know how to use VCV, I suggest you hop over on YouTube to Omri Cohen's video. I'm telling you now, that man's taught me loads, and I'm subscribed to his channel, and I do watch his videos regularly, and I learn so much, and from that learning I managed to produce tracks which I can then put onto Bandcamp. So hop over there and grab a copy. I'd really appreciate that, and I hope that you find it a nice piece of music. So that's me, chaps and chapettes. I'm going. Please give a like. I would very much appreciate that, because the more likes it gets, the more people get to view this and have some idea on how to produce music with a mediocre laptop rather than thousands and thousands of pounds worth of Eurorack hardware. And that's me. Over.